Hello again from Central Virginia, and welcome back to my no-dig organic garden. It is the middle of October, and of course things are winding way down. We've had our first quite cool nights and cool days. Weather's all over the place, which doesn't really do the garden much good. I have been doing some harvesting today, and I've had not a whole lot of time in my garden really this month because of A, we were away, and then B, the garlic festival. But I just want to show you how things stand in the middle of October as we move into the cleanup phase of the garden. Still got some things to harvest. For example, I just picked all of these cherry tomatoes. These are some of my wild flung ones, and I'm going to make some of my tomato sauce out of these for a pizza tonight, or 2 or 3. And I still have more cherry tomatoes to pick, so there's still these on the vine. And I think as long as we don't get really cold nights, I'll probably be able to eke out a few more of the cherry tomatoes as well. But by and large, things are really winding down. Well, one thing I need to get in here and harvest are these lima beans, because if we get a frost, they'll definitely be gone. But these are definitely ready. These are the Worcester Indian red lima beans, I think they're called, and I just love them. They take a long time to produce, but they are nice heavy yielders. This is my African blue spice basil, and it's still going. This will go until it freezes. When we get to freeze, it'll just go bloop. So I actually need to cut some of this off and start to propagate it for next year. Over here, I have some, these are the carrots I planted last month, and here's some parsley, some Thai basil. Here are radishes that are growing up that I planted a little while ago as well. Here are the parsnips. This is the time when they really get going. They love this kind of chilly weather. They're not ready yet to pick. I'm going to wait until after the frost, and you can just really leave them in the ground, but you can see the heads are starting to form on these guys. But they'll be a while before I actually will pick them. I'm going to let it freeze good and hard because the sweetness of the parsnips really come up. But these are done quite well this year. They seem to like it in this little quiet corner of the garden. Turning around, what we have, this was the bean bed that the rabbits got too. I've got a few volunteer potato plants, and I have been harvesting the Asian greens. This is some Shinjin Sai, and here's some bok choy that's about to go to flower, so I'm going to go ahead and nibble that. When it got 80 degrees, it said, oh, time to bolt. Just can't have that. The sage is still so beautiful. And all of the basil is, got their flower heads on now as well. I'll be coming out and harvesting these green tomatoes, making pickles and relish out of them, maybe trying to ripen some of them up. Over here on the trellis, we have a Trumbacino squash. And here is a Trumbacino squash. That one's starting to harden up like a pumpkin. I'll be able to use this like an acorn squash. Here's the big one. Look at the size of this Trumbacino squash. So I'll just let this cure, turn tan, and we'll be using it just like an acorn squash. It's delicious. And here's another one. I could go ahead and pick this one, another one here, and another one up here. Volunteer cilantro, that will actually grow. Yeah, this is a very nice little lettuce, and I'll be ready to harvest that pretty soon. Over here is the speckled bib lettuce. And here's some of the Crawford bib, I believe, going in right here. Look at the nasturtiums that had their second big burst. Nasturtiums like it when it's cooler. And so these were growing alongside and underneath the tomatoes and the cucumbers, and then they sort of died back. But as the weather started cooling off, they just took right off again. Oh, look, here's another Trumbacino squash right down in there, growing on the ground. I still have more little tomatoes to pick here and there. My lemon balm situation is out of control, so I'm going to be coming in and really pulling out a lot of this. I need to come in here and also harvest the remaining lima beans. That'll be a task for the next day or so. Peppers are about winding down. They've got flowers on them and little bits forming, but it's just too cool for them. They have been really prolific. I'll just be pulling the rest of them and using them up as we go. They're just about done. All the marigolds are dying back. Time to pull those out. This is a late borage plant that came up. Yeah, this whole area will just be cleaning up now. I'm going to be going in and pulling out that lemon balm, picking any remaining tomatoes, and look at this African blue spice basil. It is stunning, just stunning. Some late zinnias. These are bags of potatoes, and I think if I dig down, I'll probably find some potatoes in here. I have not harvested out of here yet, but I will. There's a bag of carrots over there, and nothing ever happened with my beets. You know, I tried to get them going a third time, and they just weren't having it. So I'll be going ahead and just fixing up this particular bed and putting it to bed for the winter. I have the aje chin chin hot peppers, the Peruvian peppers, which I'll be picking. My brassicas are doing well. We look under there. Broccoli, I think, is starting to form heads. Let's see. Here's some tasty arugula right here. Very tasty. Yep. Broccoli starting to form a head. And the cabbages are heading up too. That's nice. Got some radishes in here. And some Brussels sprouts are growing along as well. This vine trellis has more lima beans on it. If I look over here, you can see the kale that's growing. And you can see the kale that got decimated by bugs, but it's sprouting new stuff, and I think it'll just continue to grow. It's annoying when the bugs came along and got it. Oh, look, here's a little lemon, a little Roseland white cucumber. And this is Monarda encroaching. Here's another little Roseland white cucumber forming there. You know, might have get one or two more off of that. Outside, you can see outside now, things are really winding down. I still have cherry tomatoes growing. I've been picking those today, as I said. Here's the celosia all calming down. And you can see the snake beans, which I'm letting go to seed. And in fact, I think I could probably get the seeds out of this one right now. I have a lot of hot peppers growing. These are the serranos. I have some cayennes here. Oops. Cayennes here and here. More serranos over here. And the zinnias are about done. I think that last night we might have had, in this area, this lower part, maybe it got down to the freezing because some of these pumpkin leaves suddenly look like they've been hit by frost. And it's not all of them, but this is sort of a lower pocket, and you can see as you go down the hill, it's worse. So I think that what I'm seeing here is frost damage, which is a shame because this plant was just starting to produce some pumpkins. I knew it was going to be iffy to see if this would produce. Pretty much things are all wound up down here. My melon patch is done, although I did pick a watermelon today. I'll be coming and getting all this stuff cleared up. I do love seeing the zinnias. This honeysuckle is getting a second flush of growth and bloom, which is pretty. I pulled out the sweet potatoes, did not have a great harvest again. And I've harvested all of my, this was the butternut squash. So I've harvested some butternut squash, my last butternut squash as well. So these peppers will be taken out over the next day. And these plants will all get cut down, and I'll go ahead and fertilize and put these canvas bags to bed for the winter time. Although there's lots of this lovely, lovely purple basil. So I think some pesto might be in order. Here's some more carrots growing, doing really well here, alongside some basil. Here's this pumpkin encroaching. Now here is the situation. The passion flower vine has definitely taken over the hops. So I'm going to be digging up the hops, plants, roots, and planting them elsewhere. Probably giving them another dedicated trellis or two. So we don't have that kind of competition next year. I like the passion flower vine. I don't want to lose it. And my husband likes the hops. Don't want to lose that. So we can work with that for sure. Here are some of the butternut squash that I harvested today. And there's a couple of final little roses, fall roses in the rose alley. It's always a little sad to see your garden slow down for the year, but it's been a good garden. I've gotten good stuff out of here, and hopefully I'm going to continue to get some lettuce and a few fall things coming out as well. Those Brussels sprouts are doing really well. They won't come in for a good long time though, and my broccoli should come in the next couple weeks, I would think, along with the cabbage. I have replanted some things up in my kitchen garden. I've done some videos on that and move things around, but really this is the time where I'm going to start concentrating on harvesting first and processing what needs to be processed, and then starting to put the garden to bed bit by bit by bit. So I'll be showing you those things that I do. Isn't it exciting to get a late or maybe early mid-fall cucumber? These rose and whites are just so good. Love them. If you love to garden and you like to cook what you grow, as I do, this might be a channel for you. So do consider subscribing. It's free, and I'd love to have you among my followers. I've really enjoyed getting to know my followers this year, and people from all over the country, really, and some across the world as well. It's been really a rewarding experience for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope your garden is growing well. Take care. Bye. I think we're gonna go pick some more tomatoes.